shit over. Swear to God, I hope they do start that World War III shit over here. The first bomb out here, I'm going in the closest dealership, get the fastest shit out that motherfucker. I'm finna have some fucking fun. The bomb this bitch. This ain't my shit. I ain't paid for nothing. You think I give a fuck about this bitch going to smithereens? This ain't mine. You already, I can't even get it. You won't even let me get nothing in it. Why the fuck I'm gonna care about you blow this shit up? I'm probably be the new president in the goddamn way, man. Let crack in the dope.
Hey, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, and Kakwadash. Double honors and salutations to the elders, the apostles of Great Millstone. Sincere Shalom to the hopeful elect, the faithful and hopeful elect. All right. I just want to say a few things on this video. You heard what he said. It was pretty funny. And, on paper, it sounds fun. Like, I remember back in the world when you were younger, man. I remember having that mindset, man, if we all just run up in Foot Locker, man, I can give me some shoes. You know what I'm saying? Because, like he said, you ain't got access to none of this shit anyway. That marauder spirit, okay, seditious spirit. And that's what's getting ready to come out here, man. You can see. Oh, yeah, that's why. Look at the comment board. Watch this. Where we meeting at? Let's all take the fastest cars in our own town and meet up in Vegas or the border of Mexico. Who with it? And he's serious, because you have something out here called street takeovers in Cali right now, where you can just tell it's a lot of jobless, demonic ass, it's mainly Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. They take over the streets and they just do dumb shit in the street. Okay, and those are the type of crowds, when it's lawless out here. Okay, we're gonna get the scriptures. Okay, when it's hopeless out here, people are gonna band up, and they're going to, it's gonna be sedition. People are gonna be in derision. They're gonna be confused. They're gonna be perplexed. Okay, deceived. All right, and that's gonna be. See, it sounds, like I said, it sounds fun. Like, oh man, I'll go get me a scat pack, whatever. But they don't know the severity of where this is going. This is going to be on some Hunger Games, spiritual Hunger Games. The Most High is going to set up he's going to let the floodgates of hell open, man. Metaphorically speaking. Okay, so, let's say you steal it off the lot. You have time with a bunch of disgruntled people to run down to the border. There's only so much gas. You're going to need gas. Ain't no gas stations going to be open. You're going to have to either steal the gas or kill the gas to get the gas. Okay? And the food, all right, the time is going to be ticking until, there's in-house division to where you at each other's necks. Okay? Once it sets in that this is not just a recess break where you could go crazy and then, restore the order. Super Bowl is up next. No, it's not going to be like that. All right. Let's look at these comments. I stand with you, Unc. I'm going to the banks. Yeah, they dead serious, man. These are the type of people that wish, the lights can go out now. It says, on God, I'm going to drive a Lamb before my final day. Fuck them. You see, I'm with you, OG. Well, since we thinking about it, I might join you. Boy, that top lip say it all. And the thing is, the scriptures say, follow not a multitude to do evil. Now, is it going to be evil in that day to take a car? Not really. I mean, but all right, we're not going to lean on our own understanding. All right, the elect, we're going to be in a whole nother mindset. We're going to be pilgrims upon the earth. And a pilgrim means one that is traveling to a holy place. We're going to be hyper-focused on making it up out of here some kind of way, man. Okay? By the spirit of faith. It says, I'm going to the bank. I'm getting guns, food, gas, tools, meds, housing, something to take cover, etc. Not no game or a weak-ass car. Pickup truck, something with power, with mud. Yeah, he's thinking a little bit smarter. How a lot of countries got rich. Yeah, you see this image? That's what you niggas think it's gonna be. And it might be that for 2 nights. until you run into a little militia and then they gun you down. They say, nigga, I'm geeked up. You see what I'm saying? Let's get something real quick. It's going to be real quick. This is one of them quick hits. All right, so yeah, everybody's waking up to the fact you can't really afford no house. You have no access to nothing in society anyway. So people are not going to care if you're a celebrity, you know, wearing Jordans. If they steal them, they just going to wear them and wear them until they can't wear them no more. Wear them the same as they'll wear another Payless shoe. Okay? Because in the times we coming into, you're going to be glad to be able to even, you know, you ain't going to be no Ross Open. Okay? You're going to either have some hand-me-downs or you're going to go off the strength of what you already got until that shit wear out. All right? For you people that, you know, you're just going to be left out there like that. But this is, where are we going? Oh, yeah. Let's get it. My bad. I'm hitting the wrong stuff. Okay. Let's get it. It says, Second Ezra, the 15th chapter. Am I on the right chapter? Oh, no, I'm not. Second Ezra 15. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Okay, because, you know, society is still standing right now. There's going to be a lot of, the Most High said he came not to send peace, but to bring division, to bring a sword, and to set a man at variance. Okay, a man's enemies shall be of his own household. Because we're coming into the time where everybody's going, the Most High is channeling everybody back to their lot, to who they are, who they were predestined to be, who, you know, the end is the better of a thing. The end is better than the beginning of a thing. So everything is being made manifest and revealed in these last days. Who you are you going to be saved? Are you going to be left behind? Are you going to choose Satan? Or are you going to choose Yahweh Shema Shai? Are you going to get this truth and understand it and hold on to it? Or are you going to reject it? And so forth, etc. So woe means destruction. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. Okay? And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Yeah, weapons in their hands. So you have the government that's going to be poisoning the people. You know, staged coups, false flags, you know, biological weapons. Okay? This foreign war is going to touch the soils of America. Boots on the ground. Okay, they're talking about right now putting boots on the ground in Iran. So you already know what's coming. And they showed you that in that Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Okay, the mark of the beast. Okay. These are the wars. This is the woe that's going, you know, the world is going to experience, man. The sword, you know, it says for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. One people shall stand up and fight against another. And swords in their hands. It's going to be a police state, a martial law state, militarized zones where, you know, a lot of these, you know, robots are going to be experimented. They're going to be able to do live experiments with their robots. Okay, you know what they want to do. They want to, come on, dog. You know these people, your Epstein people, you know what they behind, man. You know what they want to do with that stuff, man. They want to see how that shit work on some raw flesh, man. On lively people. Zombies. Soft targets, you know. It says, for there shall be a sedition among men. So there's going to be division, you know, by the time, you know, when there's a sword, as it says in 15th chapter, drawing nigh, when there's a sword looming around the corner, famine. Okay, you know, all the healthy food is going at the store. The store is going, it got bum rush a week ago. Okay, it's going to create a sword, a destructive like atmosphere. So even, you know, being in that spirit of Morarder, and we're going to get it. It's only going to be fun for a certain time. And then there's going to be, the Lord is going to put that spirit of division. Okay, if a man's enemies of his own household is going to be his enemies, how much more just niggas that's doing dirt together? There's no honor among thieves. Okay, and the spirit is going to have it that way because, okay, everybody has to pay for their sins. They have to be judged in their own way. It says, and a man shall desire. Oh, my bad. It says, this is 16, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. Yeah, you're going to be robbing one another. You're going to be breaking into each other's houses and apartments and cars to see if you got food, if you know, water, soap, tissue, women, you know. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. Yeah, your politicians, your mayors, your president. Okay, that's how out of control it's going to get. And the course of their action shall stand in their power. You see, so that's what that dude was saying. Like, man, let's just turn off the lights so we can go hit up the dealership. So because he wants the course of his action to stand in his own power with no recompense. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And that's what, okay, these devils got planned. So you know, they showed you that in that movie, Take Back the World, whatever that shit was, Leave the World. Okay, the military is going to be there right away to close off these cities. You ain't going to be able to travel. And there's going to be kill zones. If you go past those zones, they're just going to shoot you. They show you that in these zombie movies. Okay, you people are the zombies. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. Okay, and you see, that's just the basic default mind in America. You don't have any spiritual mind towards righteousness. Okay, you've been so after the image of this beast, you know, this so-called white man, that your only mindset is to, you know, fast cars, money, and doing drugs. And you see what I'm saying? That's what fun is, slutting yourself out, or adultery, you know. It says, so for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. And that's why these cities are going to be troubled. This is why judgment is coming. Okay, the houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. All right, so your houses are going to be sacked many times. So it'd be better for you not even to be at your house. You know, you're going to think that it's going to be safer to go to a FEMA camp, and they're going to lure you down there and either exterminate you or chip you up. Okay. It says, they shall destroy their houses with the sword, the gun, or whatever, you know, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread. And for great tribulation says, so it's not going to be a, you know, just a all out, you know, take what you want, you know, go take a mansion up on the high hill, up on the fucking mansion up there in the mountains and party. Because after a while, okay, it's going to be a purge situation. Okay. Everybody's going to be trampling down one another, trying to find out what they can eat, what they can drink, man. Okay. The sword is throughout the land. Okay. So let me just get something real quick. A marauder. Let's look up that word. First, let's look up sedition. Let's look up what the word sedition means. It said there should be sedition among men. Okay, conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against authority of a state monarch. And once people lose all hope in this place, that's when it's going to happen. Especially when their food gets taken, because these people, they're just going to, you know, they're not going to rebel until the food gets tampered with, snatched from them. Okay, let me look up this word marauder, because I got a scripture or two dealing with it. Judges 2:14. Let's see what that's about. It's Judges 2:14. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he delivered them into the hands of spoilers that spoiled them. Okay, marauder is the word right there. Okay, you could also say marauder. That spoiled them, and he sold them into the hands of their enemies round about, so that they could no longer stand before their enemies. And this is what you see the Lord doing to Babylon the Great. You're being sold into the hands of your enemies. Okay, because the prophets have been put out here right in your face in these streets, all over the internet, and you chose to ignore us. Nevertheless, the Lord raised up judges, prophets, are judges as well, which delivered them out of the hand of those that spoiled them. So the only way you can be delivered is following, the shepherds, which we follow Yahushai. We're following him, and you follow us. You follow Yahushai. Okay. And a pilgrimage through. We're gonna be pilgrims through all of this. It says us who escape, and then some of us will have to give up our lives for this. And the Lord's gonna put a special spirit on you to do so. And we know that the majority of elect, there's gonna be few chosen individuals that, because the Lord said He won't give you anything, more than you can handle. Certain souls that are being prepped to rather take death than to bow down to the mark of the beast. That's a very honorable, way to lead, to start your legacy off. It says, I said start because, we're only at the beginning of this thing. Okay. It says, this will go with my other lesson that I'm doing on, the men of the Lord being the prize. How we'll have the pics of you women, the 18th verse right here. And when the Lord Yahweh raised them up judges, then the Lord was with the judge and delivered them out of the hand of their enemies. Yeah, you're going to need a man of the Lord. The judge is a man of the Lord. For it repented the Lord because of their groanings by reason of them that oppressed them and vexed them. So the only way out is to hearken to the men that the Most High set up. Jeremiah 3:15. Okay, not your church pastor. Okay. We have the truth. We have the way, the light. Okay. Through the Holy Spirit. These scriptures. Let's see what Job 12:6. Job 12:6. All right. The tabernacles of robbers, prosper, and they that provoke God are secure, into whose hand, God bringeth abundantly, or whatever that is. I can't see because my phone screen is cut off right there where that G is. I don't know what that is after hand, but that's what it is in this wicked, evil world. Okay, the tabernacles of robbers prosper, but now they don't have it so easy. Okay, the Lord is putting a righteous spirit back in the earth, and these people, these evil people, they're being stirred up to war for our sake. Biblical prophecies. The Most High is getting ready to judge these people. Okay, but the point is, that's what you people go to. You find safety in just sedition. All right, so this is getting ready to be an in-house plague that the Most High is going to plague you people with, to destroy, to kill off a lot of people. It says, so with that, man, Lord's willing is edifying. Shalom.